people? No smart people? Anyone here graduate high school? Okay, 20%, that's good. That's fun. What were your high school mascots, can I ask?
Hawk. Very racist.
Hawk, that's fun. That's a drone. Very racist.
Braves.
The Braves? The Braves are good. That's an emotion. Braves are a thing you can be. You know, that's fun. I was doing shows in Appleton, Wisconsin. You guys don't give a shit, but their mascot's the Terrors, and apparently that's what happens when a wolf makes love to a fox. It makes an animal called the Terror, which is great, because even in Appleton, Wisconsin, their mascot's inbred. That's... Braves not bad. Braves not bad. That's a good one. The Eagles with Braves. Anyone have something fun? Anyone have a fun high school mascot? The Little Trojans? That's a condescending condom company. That's... We got regular Magnum and then the Little Trojans. Your mascot's just a Greek statue with the little small cocks, you know, just... It's how you use it, and that's the school motto. The Little Trojans, I love that one, dude. Little Trojans is top 5 mascot, dude. That's... I don't have a good one besides Little Trojans. We can end there.
Hey, he was the midgets.
He was the midgets? Where are you from? Dickinson? That's fun, dude. You'd think that Dickinson would be the father for the mascot. That's all right. That's... Were you good at basketball? No, dude, it'd be so great if you got dunked on by a midget. You know, that would be... The midgets won the state championship. The starting line was 6'7" each. It's like... That'd fuck me up, dude. That's a good mascot, man. I love it. Yeah, what's the college here? It's the Wildcats, the Bobcats? I like the Bobcats. That's a good one. That's a good mascot. Because the Bobcat will fuck you up, you know? Unlike a Little Trojan, they'll just rough you up a little bit. You know, they'll give you a tussling. You know, that's... Give you a noogie maybe. You know, that's... I like the Bobcats, man. I live in Chicago now. There's a high school next to me. It's the Chicago Lions. And I think that's unfair because, I mean, you guys know this. There's no wild lions in Chicago. Chicago needs to be real with itself. Just be the Chicago House Cats, you know? We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. Meow, meow, meow. You know, it's... A kid misses a free throw. They're all just like, hairball, hairball. You know, that's a fun mascot, dude. Fuck me up. That's a good one, dude. I'm not originally from Chicago. I'm from a small town in Iowa originally. Silence, that's right. One woo. That's only in Montana does Iowa seem exciting. That's fun. Like, they're bordered by 2 rivers. And both of them have crawdads. That's fun, dude. Who here has the smallest graduating class size?
10.
None of you guys know numbers? Just the 10? Who can beat 10? 1? That's a sad homeschool. Give the fuck out. 10's not better. 10's just a Catholic homeschool. That's what that is. 10's just 2 horny families that made it work. That's... You guys got me beat. Mine was 32. We had to bus kids in to make prom less weird. That was... I don't want to hit too close to home here, but like we had a town hall meeting one time and they're like, yo, why do the kids in this community have weird toes? And at first guys were like, it's the GMOs. And I was like, bitch, it's the gene pool. What are we doing? There's 12 last names. That was fun. All of our coaches were our teachers growing up. You guys have that where your coaches are your teachers? Okay, so you guys have been called queer by the guy who has to teach you civil rights? Like in class, he's like, identify your oppressors. And I was like, what about you 12 hours ago? Different tone. I was struggling to flip that tire, dude. You know? That was fun. And they always taught history. It was always like history or social studies. That was weird, man. Because they'd always fit like sports into history. They'd always like fit sports. Like, I remember one time he was talking about the Aztecs, and he was like, oh, yeah, the Aztecs, they used to vote on politicians by playing sports. Like, that was the good old days, you know? And I was like, that would complicate, like, the LeBron versus Jordan debate so much, you know? So on one hand, Jordan has 6 rings, but on the other hand, LeBron fixed the economy, you know? It's like... And meanwhile, every 4 years, Michael Phelps is fucking up the UN, just like, bomb everyone. Because he butterflies it out. That was fun. And we only had one substitute teacher in my hometown, and that was also just my mom. That was fun, because you'd have to stand in for subjects, and we all knew she had no idea what she was teaching. Like, she'd walk in a class and be like, okay, kids, any questions? Yeah, I do, Mrs. Banwart. When did you learn calculus? You pick that up on the drive-in? Like, what are we doing? My mom, hyper-religious, super religious. So I liked growing up. You had to have religious parents, you know? Religious parents are fun. Too many atheist parents nowadays. Because atheist parents, they say weird things like, my kid has ADHD, but religious parents, they just beat the Holy Spirit into you for talking during church. That's... I mean, you pipe in during the sermon, you'll focus. You know, you'll... focus. My mom was so religious, she had to teach subjects that she didn't even believe in. Like one time in world history, she's like, okay, kids, today we're talking about the dinosaurs. If you believe in that shit. I was like, damn, Mom, I don't see guilt in the textbook. That's not until chapter 13, the Crusades. My friends hated her as a teacher. They'd talk shit about her to my face, but they would forget she was my mom. They'd be like, yo, Matt, Miss Banwart sucks. And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, Miss Barrett's a bitch. I was like, yeah, she should lose her job. Let her kids starve. They don't need that food. They'd be like, Matt, what do you think about Mrs. Banwart? And I was like, me? I think her fettuccine was undercooked last night. That's what I think. Let's hit her where it hurts, you know? That's fine. I had Catholic parents growing up. I don't have Catholic parents growing up. Oh, it's a Protestant town? That's fun. That's or you're all atheists, and that's cool too. You can be enlightened. That's cool. I think Catholic parents are the funniest parents to have because Catholics believe that every Sunday they actually eat Jesus' body and they actually drink his blood. Like they think the Messiah was like the world's first ever Pillsbury Doughboy. Just walking around being like, so saith me, don't poke me, ha ha ha. You know? Like historians debate, they're like, was Jesus white? Was Jesus black? And I'm like, no, he was whole wheat, okay? He was a croissant, roll him up, put it in the oven, see what happens. They're like, how do you make all this bread? He was like, don't look over here. You know, just. Okay, that was a joke, guys. That was a joke. I don't actually think Jesus was a croissant, okay? I mean, he was a Jew with holes in his hands. Come on, he was a bagel. He was a bagel. Read a book, you idiots. Come on. Come on. I get only 20% of you graduated high school. That's fun. That's fun. Okay, my God's a wholesome God, and that's just tasty. That's... My hometown was so small, we only had 2 businesses. You guys see, I've been around. You guys notice the last 2 businesses in any small town is just the local bar and then the local church? So I'm from Glen Jean, Iowa. What makes Glen Jean, Iowa so special is in Glen Jean, the bar and church, owned and operated by the same guy. That's kind of fun, okay? That deserves a standing ovation for entrepreneurship, okay? You go to church. He does the blessing with a shot glass, name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirits, and just sends it. You're like, was that Fireball? What are we doing? What's... You go to get your wine, and you have options. He's like... He takes off the robe, puts on an apron. He has a rag. He's cleaning off the rail. He's like, what will it be? Blood of Christ coming right up. You show up to church, this shit face on a Sunday morning. He's like, Scott, I'm disappointed in you. But at the same time, business is business, baby. What's up? Big game afterwards. See you there. You know, just... The bar in town sucked, though. That was the big draw. The bar in town, because all the sandwiches were just on unleavened bread, you know? Karaoke night was Christian rock only. Like, man, there goes Deborah about to sing This Little Light of Mine for the 3rd time tonight. You know, just, man, she's really fucked up. Jesus really better take the wheel. It's a lot of that, you know, just... Growing up, we had a group of friends called ourselves Squad in Iowa. Squad, that's not an original name, you know? We still have a group chat going. I haven't seen Squad in probably 6-7 years now. And one of the guys posted in the group chat on his left bicep, he has tattooed the word squad. And then around it, everyone's names. And like, he didn't ask our permission. And I thought my biggest fear in life was spiders. Now I realize it's just this dude becoming a serial killer. And like crossing names off the list like one at a time. It's just, and the one tattoo parlor in the county, he's like, well, this is peculiar, but at the same time, business is business, baby. We got a repeat customer, you know? Montana's nice. Montana's nice. You guys don't have any presidents from Montana, do you? Oh, I'm jealous, dude. I'm from Iowa. I only have one president from Iowa, Herbert Hoover. Hoover. We guys all know what Hoover is famous for. We'll say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hoover. Starting the Great Depression. That's correct. That's Herbert Hoover. That's hashtag my president. That's what he did. He went into office and somehow he left with less food. Like, what do we? He's just the most Midwestern man just running the government, you know? Like one day his intern comes running, he's like, Herbert Hoover, the economy's crashed. He's like, drinking a Bud Light or whatever. He's like, oh shit, that's not good. He's like, yeah, it's not good. He's like, what are we gonna do? He pushes over his kid. He's like, oh shit, can we stop the water? He's like, where are we gonna stop the water? He's like, Nevada? He's just, Hoover, there's no water in Nevada. Exactly, that's. You guessed it. Hoover sucked so much as a president, they named a vacuum company after him, okay? That's... Have you guys ever been to the self-help section of YouTube? You have. I can just tell. I'm so sorry. He laughed at that joke. He goes, ha ha ha. He made a face. Oh, yeah, dude. How much do you love Gary Vee? Answer me. Okay, he hasn't made his way out here yet. That's fine. We're in Grant Cardone country. That's all good. Dude, self-help section YouTube. That's the dark web, okay? During the pandemic, that's where I went, dude. I can no longer make fun of, like, girls with crystals or horoscopes, okay? The self-help section of YouTube, for those who are healthy, it's just like men yelling the worst advice you've ever seen with the most amount of confidence. It's just some guy being like, you're $50,000 in debt? Maybe you should make your bed. Is your girlfriend fucking your roommate? Take a cold shower. Can you not get hard? Buy my NFT. It's always... Like, all roads lead you back to boner pills, okay? You guys are fun people. So you do drink a lot, right? That was so funny. That wasn't like a woo or a yeah. That was like an AA. That was... You guys drink a lot. Some dude pulls up his tab. He's like, yeah. Yeah, I suppose I do. I suppose I could slow it down. Don't stop, dude. Don't stop. Drinking's fun, man. Some people are different kinds of drunks. Like, what kind of drunk are you, sir? Do you know what kind of drunk you are? Decaffeinated. Decaffeinated drunk? You just go to sleep? That's boring. What kind of drunk are you? Can you drink? Yeah, okay. But you probably do, and that's fine. What kind of drunk are you, cowboy hat lady? You're the only one. He's not wearing a cowboy hat. His hat has a compass on it or some weird shit. Is that a brewery or a trail? What is it? Yeah. Little merit badge patch in the center. That's fun. You're so drunk you got the drinking merit badge. Fuck yeah, dude. He's a fucking Eagle Scout. Hell yeah. Do you know what kind of drunk you are? You've never drank in your life? Okay. The fucking O'Doul's on the table. Jeez. That's fun. I'm the worst kind of drunk. I am a responsible drunk. Just like half-assed laughter at that one. Yeah, not a fun kind of drunk, you know? Here's when I learned I was a responsible drunk. It was my freshman year of college. First time I ever got really like near blackout drunk was this night. We were drinking in the dorm room. It was like the last day of school. Like the next day, everyone's parents are coming home to pick them up or whatever, you know? And me and my friends were like, hey, let's finish off this 36 rack of Busch Light. My people, assemble! You can bribe me in Busch Lights after the show, okay? Please don't. I will black out. And I have no idea where I am, okay? Anyway, so we're drinking Busch Light, and, like, the hall advisor comes, like, running down the hall. Like, we're getting loud. You know what drunk people do. And he's, like, going to open up the dorm room. But here's the thing. All of our furniture's moved out. So we're like, what are we going to do? And I came up with this brilliant idea. I was going to sit down against the wall, put my arm across the Busch Lights logos, and just be like, hey, man, it's Pepsi. And he opens up the door, sticks his head in. He's like, hey, I know you're drunk. And we're like, oh, no. He's like, but I'm cool. And I was like, if you're cool, you wouldn't be here, dude. He's like, just get out. Just go for a walk. And we were like, okay, we'll go for a walk. Because that's what drunk people should do. And we start walking around. We're in a college town. This is a fun story for me. And we start going to, like, the center of our college campuses. And the college I went to, the center of the campus was laid out like this, okay? Giant building, sidewalk, second giant building, clock tower. And there's this fun tradition that they told you about at, like, freshman orientation when your parents were there. They were like, hey, at midnight, you're supposed to run from one building to the next in between the 12 chimes of the clock tower. And that's cute. And we started walking closer and closer because we heard loud music, and that shit's appealing when you're drunk. If you guys ever been drunk before, loud music, very cool, okay? Okay, you're all sober, that's fine. And this room needs help. I like it. So we start walking to the loud music, and that's when we learned that you did this magical little run completely naked. So my friends see a mob of 100 naked people, and they start taking off their clothes. But remember, I'm a responsible drunk. So I'm just doing, like, risk-reward analysis, just like... I'm just sitting there being like, how do I feel about my body? Am I in shape? How cold is it outside? Is shrinkage an issue? Like, just like thinking about the nitty gritty of the situation. And by the time I'm like, you know what? I should partake. It's too late because my friends have thrown me all of their clothes and I'm just like the clothes bitch of the group, you know? So I walk of shame up to this mob of like 100 naked people. It's like 11:45 at night. I'm just standing on the outside, just like looking away, you know, being a fucking gentleman. It's 11:45 at night. It gets closer and closer to midnight. Somehow this mob has doubled into a mob of 200 naked people. And somehow I've been pushed into the center of it, fully clothed. I'm the only one wearing clothes. Like, some dude tapped me on the shoulder, looked at me dead in the eye because eye contact is important, okay? And he was like, hey, you fucking pervert! Take off your clothes! And I was like, that sentence has never been correct. And I was like, no, I'm doubling down. He's like, all right, be lame. And it got closer and closer to midnight. They did a USA chant. They're like, USA, USA. And I will admit I did take off my shirt to that, okay? That's just what the Founding Fathers wanted, okay? And I'm an American. And so midnight strikes, and it was just the most beautiful, amazing thing. Just a barrage of just 200 butts, just like, just like bouncing across the campus. Y'all have never seen anything this magical, okay? Like, if it, like, old age, I'm getting old, I'm, like, losing my memory. My wife's, like, holding my hand on my deathbed. You know, I have a fucking defibrillator or whatever the fuck the thing is hooked up to me, you know? Hey, guess what? I didn't go to medical school, okay? I don't know medical terms. I know it's not a scalpel or whatever the fuck it's called. So I'm on my deathbed. She's holding my hand. She looks me dead in the eyes. She's like, hey, Matt, what do you remember? And I could have thought of my family or whatever at that time, but instead I just think of, like, 200 butts. And I look at her, and I'm like, ha, 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 butts, and then I flatline. She looks back at the kids. She's like, hey, he died happy. And that's the future I want, okay? I'm going to end on one more story. This is a fun little celebrity story. I figured you guys relate to this a little bit. Many moons ago, I was a camp counselor, and I wasn't a good one. I wasn't a good camp counselor, and I worked my way up as a camp counselor. I worked at this massive camp out in West Virginia. West Virginians, by the way, you guys are killing them, okay? I've never seen so many people with so few teeth in my life, okay? When you guys laugh, I see a reflection. When they laugh, I just feel sad. You know, it's like, It's bad out there, dude. West Virginia's bad. Worked at this camp. It was a really nice camp, though. And the perks of working at a really nice camp is sometimes you have, like, big-name donors that can't pull up, you know, like people like big philanthropists, you know, like congressmen or celebrities. And one day I met my hero, and I didn't know it was my hero until I met him. I was taking a group of kids up to archery, and this big, black donor van pulls up. And it's, like, tinted windows. You can't see inside. And the door opens on this van. And this dude is wearing, like, a full suit and tie in the middle of the fucking wilderness. And he gets out. I shit you not, he does this. He, like, throws open the door. He goes, huh! And I'm like, kids, get back. He walks right up to me, like, way uncomfortably close, stares me dead in the eyes, and he's like, hey, son, do you know who I am? No, sir, I do not. Why, son, I'm John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. And I panicked. I was like, holy shit, nice to meet you, John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. I said his full-ass title back to him. And then he turns to the kids. He's like, hey, kids, why are you so far away? Do you know who I am? They're like, no, sir, we do not. It's like, I'm John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. And they were like, holy shit, nice to meet you, John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. And then I was like, hey, parents, you hear who I am? They're like, yeah, the first 2 times. Then I was like, can I get a photo with you? And we're like, yeah, sure. And so he gets a photo with us. He's like, hey, I love the boys. And it's something along those lines. And then he got in his donor van, like pulled off like 10 feet, put the motherfucker in a screeching out reverse. Door gets thrown open again. This time the man comes out with a giant black leather bag filled with, you guessed it, loose beef jerky. And he just makes it rain beef jerky on the kids. Like, here, have some free beef jerky. If I'm not John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. And then he disappeared forever, okay? This guy's like a mythical creature that's 10 times better than the Easter Bunny, okay? I don't know. Like, what's his origin story? He's like out in the woods one day messing with Sasquatch. And Sasquatch is like, fine, I'll grant you one wish, because that's the way he works. And he's like, why, Sasquatch, I want to be the CEO of the world's largest dried meat procurer. And he's like, fine, but here's your curse. You always have to use your full title. It's like, no big deal. If I'm not John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. Ha ha, and just runs off. Like the fucking little imp he was, you know? Like, was this guy doing this shit in grade school, you know? His teacher's taking roll. She's like, Jess, here. James, it's a J school. Here. Jonathan, teach. That's not my name. John Jax Links, show and tell presenter and line leader of class 24B. Here, teach. Poor family at Thanksgiving. She's like, Stephanie, pass the mashed potatoes. She's like, here. She's like, Roberto, pass the beans. She's like, here. She's like, John, pass the turkey. Mother. That's not my full name. Christ. John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company. Can you please pass me the motherfucking turkey? No, but I can pass you the jerky. Ah! All right, there's a moral to every good story, and this is the moral to this one. Is I knew this guy for probably a solid minute and a half, and I knew exactly how he was in bed. Like, he's out one night with a mistress because he has one, and it's getting, like, hot and heavy. They're making out. He's like, say my name. Jonathan? That's not my name. John Jax? That's not my full name. John Jax Links, the CEO and founder of the Jax Links Beef Jerky Company, and then he finishes, and that's it for me, guys. Keep going for yourselves and keep going for tonight.